Well, welcome back to this edition of Let's Get Dirty Garage, and today I'm going to try and explain how all of that happened. And all of that. And all of that stuff missing. And a little bit of that. But yeah. Oof. What a mess. Is this thing on? Yeah. All right, let's get started on this front end. My beautiful bride helped me to take off the hood a little bit earlier, and I just want to try and get a little bit more of this stuff taken apart, get some of these big parts off. I think I will start with this front bumper. So give you a quick overview. Really just got to pull out the lenses and lights and get that unhooked. But if you go underneath, better get a little light on the subject. Always helps with being able to see what you're doing. But these bumper brackets here, there's one on each side, and there's two bolts, one up behind here and then one on this end over here, 3/4 inch bolts. Those got to come out. Now I have been soaking these in penetrating oil. Remember, PB Blaster is your friend, because otherwise this stuff just doesn't want to come apart. So I'm going to try and get those out of there real quick and see if we can't drop this bumper off. All right, these come out just a couple of screws on the lenses. Let's see if the bulb wants to come out for me. No, not so much. Now that one may have to come out when the bumper's out. So I'll get the harness unplugged for this thing, I hope. All right, got both those harnesses unplugged. They were a little stiff, but battery needs to come out on the drinker side over there, and the captain side, the driver's side just unplugs. Got to get a little wedge in there or something, but I'm going to try and get these bolts loosened up. Like I said, there's two on either side, and then that whole bumper with the brackets should slide off of there, or possibly fall off and crush me, and never to be heard from again. But at least you guys will have a good front row view of that. Again, I've been soaking these for a really long time with penetrating oil. You can use WD-40. I don't think it works as well as like PB Blaster. That's usually kind of my go-to. Seems to really get itself in there. Okay. There is one, and gonna have to go magnet fishing for that washer because that one kind of disappeared. I'm gonna just try and get this nut off of this side. It's 3/4 inch bolt head and 3/4 inch nut as well. I'm gonna just try and get the nut off this side, or the front part of that bracket, and then leave the bolt in to support the end of the bumper. That was coordinated. Unfortunately, it's kind of up inside the frame. There's a little hole that you drive the socket through, so basically working on the braille system as you do this. The longer you can soak that stuff in penetrating oil, the better off you're going to be. Sometimes, I mean, if it's too corroded, you may have to use a heat wrench to get a little bit of leverage on it. There's the nut off of that one. So that should be pretty loose. We'll scooch on over to the other side. Oh, this is not made for fat guys. All right, let's see what we can do over here. Just get it in there. Okay, so that side was put on by the devil himself, I think, but finally got both of those out. Just kind of get it balanced up here. These things are not light at this stage, with all the attachments and so on still there. But I'll see if we can't get this popped out of here. Find out where that silly bolt was. There it was. I think. Yep. All right. One rusty bumper. Some serious bolts holding that baby on, but glad she's out at this point. We'll set that one aside and start working on some other sheet metal. I'm going to give you a little bit of a tip on removing this nasty stuff that it's the sound deadener. Learned this quite a while ago. Only done it once, so we'll see how it works here. But I'll show you what I have used at least once successfully in the past. Get yourself a little bit of dry ice, kind of break it up just a little bit. It's got to be dry ice, not regular ice. Got to go colder than ice. Let's see how long this lasts. There's not much of it in there, but and then be careful handling that stuff because it is cold. And then set it on top. Kind of just let it form around there, let it sit for probably 15-20 minutes, something like that, and we'll come back and see if the stuff will just chip right off. All right, well, it's been sitting on there for about 15 minutes or so. Let's take a look and see what kind of help that had. Basically just chips off. And there you have it. So that stuff will drive you crazy if it is stuck on there really good, and scraping it off and trying to get that tarry mess out of there is just not an option. So then just move your dry ice to the next area, let that sit for 10, 15, 20 minutes, whatever it takes, and chip it off a little bit at a time. But it'll come off there pretty clean, and you can really wire wheel the rest of it up, or sandblast it in the case that's what we're going to end up doing with this whole mess. But hopefully that will help you out. Okay, next are these fender extensions or headlight bezels or whatever it is that you want to call them. I've seen them called about 10 different things in different magazines, but anyways, in order to pull these off, there's about 800 fasteners that attach those. Well, maybe 600, but first step is just pulling the trim rings off the headlamps. A couple of Phillips head at the top. And while you got the Phillips out, you got these chrome trims underneath the buckets here, and I think even if you don't have those trims, there's two Phillips, one on either end, that kind of hold the bottom of that in. So want to get those out. That frees up the bottom of that bucket. That trim will pop out of there. And then actually up behind the headlamps, down in the corners, there are, and then one up at the top in here. Better get a little bit of light on the subject. The outer headlamp to the outside, outboard side of it, just a one bolt all the way out the side. Doesn't sound like it must come out of there. Yep. And then there's one almost straight above that headlamp, and these are kind of on an angle, so you can get to them with the, you don't really have to pull the bulbs out. Those obviously have to come out, but we'll get there when we get there, and we're not there. So that one out. And there is one on the top here. We can't get to the back side, so I'll pull it off this side of the bracket. It's just a little bracket that holds that top one in place. Careful with that. You're gonna break something. All right, and then there should be just one up in that furthest corner. Why they thought they needed 6 fasteners to hold this little piece of metal in place, no idea, but you can guarantee if it was a Cadillac, there'd have been 8, not 6. Those are even worse to work on. So I think that should be all of those. Oh, nice, mouse house. Random critters. building nests in different places, but anyways, that gets those off. So now we got access to actually try and pull a fender off. So let's try that next. Might as well. Okay, to start with the fender, let's go ahead and pull these hood hinges off of here. 3 bolts on these babies, but all 9/16 heads. Probably should be smart and use the power tools, but yeah, well, nobody ever accused me of doing anything smart. Think that was long enough? Wow, all right. One tucked down in here. See if we can get at it around this air conditioning. Gotta love the room they leave you on those. Guys on the line just must have hated air conditioning when it came down. It's like, man, I can't get my fingers in there. I think I'll go home early. Not sure if they were drilling for oil when they put in some of these bolts or what was going on, but good golly, they like their threads. All right, well, for fender time, really, it's just a matter of finding all the attachment points. There is across or in the wheel well. And you know what, I'll actually take you in there and show you real quick and kind of show you where all the attachment points are there. But by the way, you know, I heard if it's a 5-minute walk from your house to the bar, it's a 45-minute walk from the bar to your house. The difference is staggering. Well, let's get you in here and take a quick look. All right, in these wheel wells, the Screaming Orange painted ones on this side and kind of deformed, so kind of anxious to see what's going on there. But there are a row of bolts that go around that lip that all got to be pulled out all the way around. And then also up on the top, you've got attachment points here in the front corner. These here. Got the rear attachment off here with the hood hinge, but don't forget about this little beauty in behind the door, as well as one all the way on the bottom. Should be going basically straight up from the bottom of that fender straight up into the cowl there. So we'll work on getting all of those loose and see if we can't pop a fender off. That was easy. Yeah, not so much. Okay, so you saw me struggle a bunch with this front corner. There's a bolt that goes straight up through this little piece of sheet metal here into a weld nut that the weld nut actually had popped off, and for some reason they decided the bolt needed to be that long to go in and hold that piece of sheet metal up. So whoever decided on using that bolt there probably should have been fired years ago, but that's why that struggle was such a mess on that front corner. And then down on the bottom, there's actually two bolts that go through this inner fender, and both of those clips were just rotating. So that's why you can see, cut that off, because that inner fender pretty much wasn't holding on to anything. So that's why we got out the wonderful sparkly wheel of doom and slice that off. So we'll figure out a different way to attach that when we go back on. But one fender removed, the front fender extension off, and looking a little bit more naked at this point. So on to the next. That was easy. Now, 50-year-old rusty weld nuts don't hold on to anything except the bolts that are in them. Tried the heat wrench a little bit, but really had to dig out the wonderful sparkly wheel of doom and cut a few of them off. But anyways, it's a little bit late tonight, so I'm going to call that good for today. We'll get at it again tomorrow morning, start getting some of the other front end off, and see if we can't get some more of the big pieces off. So we'll go at it then. Well, good morning. We'll take a quick peek at where we're at in the process. Looks like the inner fender wells have been chewed up pretty good, so those have got to come out next in order to get a hold of the radiator support, and we'll try and see where all those attachments are. It looks like we've got a couple up behind the wheel. Go to the can't see that, sorry about that, but go to the cowl, and then there appears to be about 8 too many of these extremely long bolts that come through up into the radiator support, and then we'll start getting all that stuff off. And looks like there's an interesting tangle of wires. Not even sure what that thing does. If you know what that does, leave me a comment down below, but it looks important, so probably got to be careful. A couple of relays and so on, but we'll get the inner fender wells off first, and then start dealing with radiator and all that great stuff. Got to break the AC system loose and be able to get that radiator support off of there. So that's where we're going to start. Well, let's see how lucky we get with the fender well. So I'm gonna try the first couple of bolts behind the wheel here. See if we can't get those out of the cowl. No idea if these will come out, break off, or just spin a clip, so we'll see. But it's turning. Means life is good. Making progress. Okay, I think that one is out. One more to go. I don't know why they would put two bolts within 2 inches of each other to hold this on back there, but I think if you wanted to take one of these old cars racing, all you'd have to do is replace all the bolts with shorter bolts and save about 50 pounds. The back of this is coming loose. All right, there we go. Back is loose. Now there's 4 bolts that hold the front of this flimsy plastic piece on in the front, and I'm pretty sure that these are just going to spin the clips and do a whole lot of nothing, but we'll see what we can accomplish here. Yep. That plastic is so brittle. I have been soaking these with penetrating oil for a couple of days, and nope, that's going to need some vice grippage. Get the clip metal up out of the way. And we'll see if we can get a hold of the nut that used to be welded to the clip. Try it from that angle. Alright, I think the bolts are out. Don't forget to take these little clips out that hold the wiring and the washer harness tube or the washer tubes. Alright, one wheel well. And then rinse and repeat again and again. Alright, well, Radiator Support means radiator has got to come out, so I guess I'll get this thing drained out. Just a tip, I use a big old ugly cat pan because it holds more than a regular drain pan. But see if we can't get that bottom hose off there. Should come off pretty easy. I had that off before. Actually, when I got it, it didn't even have a clamp on it. Always a great mess. Overflow off. See if we can't break these cooler lines loose. I seriously doubt that they will come off of there without actually fighting extremely hard. They've been on there a while. Well, I'll be. Wow, look at that. This one, depending on the other end, might actually be usable. That one, not so much. Probably should have soaked that down ahead of time. But that would have taken planning and broke free from the radiator, but not from the line, so we'll let that soak a little bit. Maybe apply some heat to it after a bit. But see if we can't get this top hose off of here. That one's been on the entire lifetime of the car, I think. Still got the original style clip on it, or the clamp. Now let's pull this support off of here, or the upper bracket. Just 4 bolts across the top of that. I think I'll have to probably pull that fan shroud loose as well. Slide that out of there. The radiator out first, and then the fan shroud will follow because I can't get it up around the fan. Nope, wrong size. Always a guessing game. Righty tighty, lefty loosey. Alright, those. Okay, upper bracket will pop off. Tiny little radiator. It's just a 2-core. So last beast is holding this up here is that lower transcooler line. See if it just snaps or what. So gonna have to replace it anyways. Starting to spin. PB Blaster does its magic again. So that should do it for the radiator. Keep the mess inside of it as much as I can. then fan shroud. This goes with a couple of little clips on the bottom. All right, making progress. All right, a little bit of progress. I did pull the grill off and that upper support that goes across here, and now I need to get this trim piece off. And in order to do that, all of these attachment points that were rusted completely on there, I'm going to have to take the wonderful wheel of the sparkly wheel of doom to them, get those cut off, and then I can get that out and then try and pull that AC unit out of the front of that, and then get to the core support. So here we go with some sparks. Gotta love the sparkly wheel of doom. Get stuff done in a hurry. All right, let's see if we can extricate this AC unit off the front of here. The condenser is always a fragile part, but I'm not sure if this one's going to be usable or not. I don't think there's been any AC charge in this thing for a long time. But we'll get it up out of the way, so at least if nothing else makes the whole assembly a lot lighter. Just 4.5 inches across the top. And I hope that that should come up. Nope, I guess that rubber mount's still attached on that side, so we'll go with that one. The bottom of that is attached. It's actually a mount that's rubber on both sides, and pretty much roached out at this point, but yep, it just snaps off. Okay, AC out of the way. Next up, I think we can just see if we can't blow this radiator support out of here. Sounds like fun. All right, we'll see how this goes. I doubt that they will be easy. Nothing else in this front end has been. Well, that, in fact, my friends, was pretty easy. One more on this side. I like it. I like it a lot. All right, one radiator support. Now it's looking like a project. You know what, I got you here. Might as well have you help me pull these doors off, because they got to come off too. So just gonna zip the 6 bolts out of the hinges like you've seen before. Have emptied out everything from the door, so they should be fairly light. And we'll see how this goes. Get out of there. Oh, and I said fairly light, I lied. Those are well built. Man, no wonder they go to fiberglass doors on race cars. Oh my goodness. Busting stuff up. All right, let's go at the other side. Alrighty, just like a Jeep. Don't need these anyways. Nah, we're gonna need them. Well, that'll about do it for the destruction for the day. I appreciate you watching. Hey, listen, if you get a chance, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and hope you enjoyed it. And we got a lot of stuff off today, yeah, and yesterday, but I think we're making good progress. So time to get cleaned up and get at it again. Thanks a bunch. Talk to you next time. Oh, what a mess. Man.